little bit of spice.
Guys, as you know, it's been bank holiday weekend. I'm up against it a little bit at the moment. So, and really, game of the week would be Warrington Hull KR. I've not got time to do a game of the week for Warrington Hull KR. So we're just going to do it as part of this. This, of course, now goes out as the prediction show. Like I said last week, some people just like to listen to our predictions, which is their right. That's fine. So this will go out separately as a prediction show, as always. So, guys, we need to get into a bit more detail than normal here in terms of these games, because unfortunately there will not be a game of the week this week. I do apologise for that, but it will be back the week
after. No need to apologise, mate.
When everything else settles down. So, what we'll do, as we always do, we'll start it off by quickly taking a look at how the league looks going into it. And, of course, there you go. The top six, all on 14 points going into round number 11. Chaps, have we ever had a better time of it? I think Martin Sadler said in League Express, has there ever been a league table after 10 rounds as close as that? It bodes well for a very exciting end of the season in terms of playoffs, League Leaders' Shield, etc. It's progressing well, isn't it, Greg?
It is, and I can't remember a league table so tight after this point in the season for a long, long time. And you just look at Rhinos, who haven't had the best start to a season again.
No,
and they're only slightly off the pace. Yeah. As are the Giants, who again had a very ordinary start to the season. So yeah, it's going to be over the next few weeks, and I think over the next few weeks, this is where we're going to start seeing the teams that are going to be competing for that grand final.
Well,
some games coming up.
Couldn't have said it better, sir. Couldn't have said it better. Steph?
Yeah, it's great that it's so compact there at the top, and who'd have foreseen that at the beginning of the season? But we're only a third through. There's 2/3 to go, and I think a lot of those top teams are going to start playing each other now as well. So it'll be interesting when they start taking points off each other where that goes. But I think in reality, at least 5 of those top 6 are going to be there at the end of the season.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, it's really what we've seen this season. We've seen some really interesting results. We've seen Salford beat the Broncos. For example, Cass beat Salford. Let's be fair. We've seen some really interesting results. It's not over until the lady sings, as it were, and I think it's going to be outstanding. Callum Calvert in the house. Callum, a proud Super League Royal member. Sorry for being late, and so you should be. You should be nowhere else than here at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday. How dare you, sir? Is what I would say. But we'll let you off for a week. Don't you worry about that. Right, let's get into the prediction league, and this is how it looks. It couldn't be tighter, really. Gary Schofield should actually go. Schofield's wrong. 21-5, 105, 38. Should be 153, that. So my apologies. Schofield is top. Then I'm there on 152. Then Joel 151. Greg's still ahead of Steph on 133. But it's still all to play for. Still all to play for is the prediction league. Right, let's go in to round 11 fixtures. A belter to kick us off. We'll get into this one in a moment. The Wolves taking on the Robins. That is going to be superb. I just go against the Saints, and I'm telling you, I'm really looking forward to a chat around that one as well. That's an interesting combo we're about to have. Leopards, Red Devils, 2 entertaining sides. A lot of people's second teams, these. They've got, I think they've gained a lot of friends over the last few years, Salford and the Leopards. So that's going to be an interesting chat. Giants go up against the Warriors, Dragons, Rhinos, Broncos, Hull FC. Let's kick it off by having a quick chat about this one. The Wire against Hull KR. Of course, Matt Duffy came off with an ankle issue last week, but should be okay, we believe. Matty Ashton is back for this one, so that's good. No more Connor Wrench. Still is going to be out for Warrington. He's not back for this. Oliver Gildart is expected to be out. James Batchelor and Elliot Minchella are 50-50. We're hearing that will be a big blow. These are the teams. We'll come back to that graphic in a minute. So you can see there, Matty Ashton is in the squad. Harrison back in the squad as well. So Warrington, a couple of players last week were given a little bit of a rest, but they're back in, Crowther and Harrison. You look down the roster there of the Robins. It's a fine side. They're going to come into this, I think, with pretty much the same team-ish as what we saw against the Saints. Albeit, like I say, there are doubts, and it would be a big blow if Elliot Minchella was missing for Hull KR. That could be a swinger in the nicest possible way. Right, current league position, second place fourth, beautiful. Current game odds, 4-9 on Warrington, 19-10 Hull KR. Fewless, can he back it up? And there's no doubt Petr Hiku has been phenomenal. And of course, coming up against his former side, that's going to be interesting at the HJ. If you look at the last five, you can see both of these two teams have lost out to Catalan. Warrington, 3 wins, Rhinos, Leopards and Hull FC. As for Hull KR, some really impressive wins in there when you consider the last two, the Warriors and the Saints dispatched. Fair play indeed to KR. Guys, this is a mouth-watering game. I mean, we talk about Rugby League being the winner. If both of these two turn up on Thursday night, we're in for some sparkling entertainment.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute cracker. I can't wait for this one. I'm amazed at those odds at Hull KR.
Yeah,
2-1. You have to just beat Wigan and Saints, albeit they were both home games, weren't they? So that's potentially where they're looking at that with losing to Catalan 3 weeks ago, was it now? But I still think that's really big odds for KR there. But you know, Warrington are getting the wins. That's the other part of it, isn't it? So it's going to be so tough to call. So tough to call this one. I have actually gone 1-8 Warrington. So, but don't get me lads, because my being at the bottom of the prediction league, that means absolutely nothing there. But I just think after last week, with all the adversity and all the emotion that was built up about the extra interchange and stuff, I think that threw Warrington off a little bit against Hull. And I think that Sam's going to use that to galvanise them this week and really motivate Warrington to put a performance on. And I hope there's a bigger crowd. The crowd was only 8,800 on at Warrington.
Yeah, it was.
It's all on, yeah, but and it's going to be. I mean, I think the Robins will travel in better numbers, but
yeah,
you know, Hull playing in this side of the Pennines on a Thursday night. You've got no chance. You've got no chance, have you?
I know, but given how well Warrington are playing, I'd have thought that didn't you have 10,000 on against Catalan though?
Yeah,
but we had a lot of free tickets and
yeah. But even so, regardless of that, I think given how well Warrington are playing and given Hull KR's form, it's a mouth-watering. If you can't advertise and market this game, then you know I hope it does get a really good crowd because it deserves it.
When you think as well, Steph, it's a bank holiday weekend.
Yes. True. Yeah. Oh, there was ultimately, there was factors in it, definitely. But you know, they're saying that's a Thursday night. This one, isn't it? So I don't. How the attendance is normally on a Thursday from Warrington.
Well, I think it'd be similar. I think KR will come in better numbers, if I'm being honest. But I think it'll be set. They'll probably break 9, I would say. But we'll have to wait and see on that. In terms of this game, Greg, there's some really good matchups right across the park. I think the back lines, I don't know, the KR edge it, maybe, I don't know, the back line. It's hard to talk, I'll actually say that Ashton's back. I mean...
Yeah, but Hall will be up against Thewlis, will he?
Hall will be Thewlis.
Yes.
Yeah, Hall up against Thewlis, that's, you know, and if it's Broadbent against Ty, that's...
Well, Broadbent's got unfinished business, because if you remember, he was hooked in the Castleford game at the HJ.
Yeah. Yes, he was, yeah.
No, he'll be up for this one. You'd have thought in terms of that. I mean,
the other side's pretty well matched.
I think the forwards goes the way of the Warrington. I think Warrington forwards. I think you could toss a coin in the backs. I think forwards Warrington.
This game is won and lost in the halves. If Hayes was playing, I would be a lot more confident. But Drinkwater against Lewis.
He played well, Drinkwater though last week.
He played okay. He played better than he has done.
Yeah,
I'll give him that. I'm not saying he played well, but he played better than he has done earlier in the season. He still needs to step up a few gears. I'd be a lot more comfortable, let's say, if it was Hayes and Williams in the middle.
Yeah.
We
can only judge him on his last game, and actually, I was pleasantly surprised by Drinkwater against FC.
Nobody more than me.
Yeah.
But you know, to be fair, I think me and Steph could have played well against FC in the middle. Well, all right, maybe me then.
My back surgeon would disagree, I think.
But, what was I going to say? Lost me thread now. Yeah. I have gone KR 9-17. Simply because of the Mikey Lewis factor. I know George Williams is there as well, but I think Mikey Lewis has got that bit of spark about him at this moment in time. And with May, I think that just kind of edges Drinkwater and Williams.
I think Burgess will have a plan for Lewis.
He may well do. Having said that, if Minchella isn't playing, and there's rumours that they've only sent a smaller squad, named a smaller squad, then I could quite easily see Wire winning. But I've got to go with my original prediction, which was 9-17 Hull KR.
Right. Well, let's get into the chat. John Wilkinson. Hello, John. I think it's been a couple of weeks since I've seen John Wilkinson in the chat. YR8+, he's going in the chat. We've also got Dawn Baker going with you, Greg, 9-17 to KR. Wire 1-8, Craig Rigby, Robert Hickson going the same way. Andy Bibby, Wire by 16. Jack Brown now in the 21-man squad. Kai Fowler putting that one in. Fair play, Kai. Yeah, you're probably right. He must have been cleared for the game then. That's happy days if you're a KR fan. So again, pretty much on the fence in terms of this one. Gary Schofield, he's gone KR 9-17. Joel's gone Wire 1-8. The fans' form have gone KR 1-8. I'm going Wire 1-8. So Nicola Burton and Callum Calver have both gone the Wire 1-8 as we've been talking. So real solid game, this one. Again, I just hope both of these two sides. It was to be fair, it was a bad pitch and it was a gritty first game when Warrington beat KR earlier in the season. Hopefully, looks like the weather's going to be good. Nice fast track. Really, quality players in transition. Evels, Hiku, Broadbent, Lewis on one side, Ashton. Yeah. Lufty. This has got it all. It really should be sparkling entertainment on Thursday night. Make sure you pull up a chair.
Just to interrupt there, Dave. Twitter, or X it's now called, Luke Yates is definitely coming to Wire next season.
Yeah, that's. I think that's their uncertainty with regards to that. Right, happy days, wonderful stuff. So that's the Wire. And again, you can always tell. Really close in terms of the way that people have gone there. Right, let's move on to the next one. This is interesting. This is really, if this game had come up 3 weeks ago, I'm going 18 plus St Helens, and I think most people would. But actually, all of a sudden, you look down that list there, and nobody expected them to beat the Red Devils. They did. They beat the Broncos. Fair play. Nobody would have expected them to have gone to the Leopards and got a draw. Especially when you consider what the score line was at 70 minutes in that game. So the heart and desire that Castleford showed to come back, as much as that hurt Steph, was phenomenal. Currently position 10, plays third. 7-2, plays 2-9. Texoy, absolutely. I put my hands up. The lad's in great form at the minute. He's the one to watch. And Lewis Dodd, because Lewis Dodd has got to show some form. And there's got to he's going to be paid big bucks. He's going to South Sydney. He's got to repay these Saints fans. He's got to produce. He has to produce. So I think there's a lot of pressure now on Lewis Dodd in his last season at Saints. It's all well and good saying that Saints have made him as a man and as a player. Yeah, you show that on the field, Lewis. So this is a big moment for him. But you look at the Saints. They beat the Warriors. They were flying at that point, of course. They've lost to the Dragons. They've lost to the Robins. They've lost to Warrington. You look at the wins there, Giants and FC. I mean, dearie me, the ejector seat would be being pushed by Saints fans if they'd have lost against those two where Wellens is concerned. This isn't as straightforward, chaps, as perhaps it might have been. I'm not saying for 1 minute Cats are going to win this, but I think they'll give it a really good go. They go into it. Sam Hall will be missing. Sam Wood will be missing. That's a big blow on the left edge if Sam Wood's not there. He's been fantastic. Jason Gary has signed a new contract, albeit it probably won't feature. No real other changes really for Castleford, other than the fact they might be losing Sam Wood and Hall out of the starting 17 that played against at the LSB. As for Saints, Tommy Makinson should be back. Jake Wingfield is available for selection. But Matt Whitley's probably not going to be there, but they've got plenty of cover in those back row positions. Have Saints. Greg, do you agree that this isn't as straightforward as perhaps maybe it would have been 4 weeks ago?
I think I do, yeah. And just before we go to that, what was your prediction for Warrington Hull KR, Dave? Did you say
1-8, mate.
1-8 for Warrington?
To the wire, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I got distracted by the Luke Yates chat on Twitter. No, you're absolutely spot on. That performance against Lee, as Steph has said, I think Steph, you would have been there and watched it in the flesh. Nobody with 10 minutes to go would have thought that. And Castleford will be galvanised by that, I think. Having said that, they might have a couple of players out. As I was saying, I mean, Whitley's a big miss in the second row. Making is big for Saints as well. No, you're right. You're right. It's going to be closer than a lot of people think, and I've gone Saints 18 plus. I think it's one of those games where it will be it's going to go one of two ways. Saints are going to absolutely blow them away in the first half, and Castleford maybe come back into it later on, or it's going to be nip and tuck for about 50, 60 minutes, and then Saints are going to run away with it and stretch the lead. They're the two scenarios I can see happening.
If I'm a Cass fan, I want Jack Wellsby to shush me, because that's not been boding well for him this season, Steph. How do you see it? How do you see it?
I'm with you, Dave, on this one. I think about 4 weeks ago, you'd have said this would have been 40 plus, never mind 18 plus. But given how well Cass played against us and seeing him in the flesh on Saturday, I also think there's a lot of pressure on St Helens. A lot of pressure. You know, it's another away game. Going to Castleford. And you can imagine the talk if they do lose this one. Good grief. You know, I was laughing at Alex Sharp's comment there. Cass 18 plus well and down. I think it would be. I think we'd all be saying that if that happened. No, I do see Saints winning it. I think they're going to just have enough in this one, and I've gone for 9-17 to Saints. So not Reggie's 18 plus, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was closer.
Well,
neither would I. But you know,
well, I think what has Cass got to lose? What have we got to lose? You know, it's one of them. It's a free hit for Cass, isn't it? Really. Obviously, it's on a tight pitch as well at the Jungle. The fans' form have gone Cass 1-8. Couldn't believe that.
Wow.
Fans' form have gone Cass 1-8. Wow.
Would that stir things up a bit if that was true?
Well, never mind a St Helens in St Helens. He'll be outside Castleford if they win.
Oh, Andy Bibby saying, you know, Wellens will be under massive pressure if he lost this. He would. I agree with you. There's no doubt about that. Gary Schofield sees it Saints 18 plus, as does Greg has said the same. Joel has gone 18 plus Saints. Lee, Steph has gone Saints 9-17, as have I. I think Saints will win it. They have to win it. They have to win it. It's as simple as that.
If they don't, the fat lady will be singing, not chucking bottles.
Yeah, well, yeah, steady on. Steady on. Steady on. We know, oh, hello, no. No. On that topic.
Other sizes and genders are available.
But look, we haven't gone there. On that topic, we put Mark's graphic up, which was fair enough, you know, bit of comedy, and I stand by it. That behaviour is unacceptable in a rugby league ground. Unacceptable. However, I did take it down because on reflection, it's not for us to police rugby league. It's not for us to, target whoever. So, look, this is now down to the Rugby Football League, St Helens and OKR, and every single one of those people should be banned from rugby league for life. End of. That's it. Over and done. And that's what I would say on that one. But yeah, so that's where we are for the Saints game. But yeah, I mean, a lot of love for Saints in the chat. Yellow card is coming your way from Alex Sharp there, Steph.
No, it's a straight red.
Yeah, it's straight red. Is it? It's straight red. Sorry. Yeah. Saints 9-17. A lot of people going Saints 9-17. Don Baker saying Saints by 4. Yeah, I mean, nobody in the chat has gone Cass. Oh, no, other than Alex Sharp in jest. But the fans forum, when I took the average, when I did the cut-off, The fans' form have gone Cas 1-8. So that's an interesting one. Right, let's move on to the game that will involve Steph's side, the Lee Leopards. This should be a belter as well. Absolute stunning game, this. Two very exciting teams. Both like to play an expansive game of rugby league. Really like both of these sides when they're at it. 9th against 6th. Interesting. 8-15 on Lee Leopards. Interesting. 13-8. I think Mark Sneed will be pivotal in this in terms of game management. I thought Lachlan Lamb had his best game of the season, albeit in defeat against Castleford. So I think that is a really intriguing battle in the centre of the field. Lee, they'll be devastated. I mean, Steph said it on final whistle. Could be a defining moment in terms of their top 6 ambitions. That 1 point. As for Salford, I mean, look at that there. They've lost 1 game in the last 5 to the Tigers. I mean, let's be fair. I think we said it that week. Was that an attitude thing? I mean, at the time, Castleford were in dire straits. Should never have gone to the jungle and lost that. I mean, they could have easily been 5 from 5, but we're taking nothing away from Castleford at all. But I mean, they picked up some good scalps there. Leeds, Wolves, Giants. That is fair play. Rowley had took that at the start of the campaign. This is a belter, a real quality game. Before I bring Greg in on this, obviously John Asiata, we know he's out for 6 weeks. Gareth O'Brien is unlikely to feature him here, but Steph might have an inside track on that. Robbie Mulhern is expected to overcome his calf injury in time for this one, so that's positive. The pack to be feared is reforming. Dan Norman also should be available if he passes these final checks for HIA. As for the Salford Red Devils, Joe Mellor and Joe Shorrocks, they're major doubts, but the King Ronnie Yawa is back for this one. Greg, I've got a soft spot for both of these sides. I think they both play great rugby. This could be a little gem, this one.
I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah,
a little bit like the Lee Castleford game. I think it's got the potential to be another cracking game. Two fairly evenly matched sides, barring the odd knock and the odd injury here and there and the odd missing player. This season, at least, there was a bit of a difference last season. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. This is one I'm looking forward to after the Warrington Hull KR game. I've got to admit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have Steph and Lee fans dancing in the streets because I've gone Salford 1-8.
Fair enough.
I've just got the freedom of the town of Lee.
Well, Craig Ribby's gone Lee 9-17. Dawn Baker's saying the same. This could be a great watch in the chat. Alex Craig saying it's a tough one to call. It is. Nicola Burton would write, no surprise, he's going lead tight 1-8. Come on, the Leopard, she says. Greg Roach, 9-17, Salford. Sorry, Steph, in dispatches he's put there. Lee Partington's gone Salford 1-8. Cartledge 1-8. John Wilkinson, Salford 10+. So more edging on the way towards Salford. Gary Schofield's gone Salford 9-17. Joel's gone Lee 1-8. The fans' form have gone Salford 9-17. I'm going Lee 1-8. I think they'll come back bigger and better. I think they'll be a bit disappointed. I think maybe the Asiata thing and all that kind of stuff might be a bit unsettling last week. But they've got their heads around it now. Probably more conversations have been going on this week. Who's staying, who's going, all the rest of it. So I'm going to go Lee 1-8 on the day. But it could go either way. Steph, any inside track on your team and where do you think this is going to go?
Yeah, Mulhern said in the Legends Bar last week that he would be available this week if selected. So hopefully he's in. Gaz O'Brien's another 4 weeks away, so he definitely won't be in. It's a tough one this because Rowley's kind of got the measure of us at the LSV since we've come back to Super League. So it's always a tough game. But saying that, over at the AJ Bell or whatever it's called, they changed now. Salford Community Stadium, is it now?
Yeah.
Earlier in the season, we were only one try away. It was Sneed's goal kicking that did the damage on that day. It'll probably do the same this week. But I do think I'd like to think that we will have a bit of a bounce back from last week, and I do think the Asiata thing had a bit of effect on us. But I think getting Mulhern back's massive, and I think we've a bit like you were saying with Warrington. I think our pack's slightly better than Warrington's when we've got a full pack. And again, Papi's coming back for his second game now, so he's had that one match to get back in. So probably more optimism than anything else, but I've gone League 1 to 8.
Fair enough. Lee versus Salford is on BBC iPlayer as well. So there's a bit of good news. Thanks for that, Stuart Minnis. Alex Sharp, Lee 9-17. Robert Higson, Lee 1 to 8. And Andy Bibby, Salford by 4. Should be a compelling game. Really, really looking forward to that. Right, let's get over to the John Smith Stadium. The Giants taking on the Warriors. You just never know which Giants you're going to get. It's as simple as that, is what I would say. Jack Murchie back in contention for the Huddersfield Giants in this one. Matty English, though, he's out. That's a big blow. Plays well for him, does Matty English. No Harvey Levette, and Andre Savelio is also still unavailable. Sam Walters came through the reserve game, could feature in this one. Mike Cooper is also in contention after coming back from concussion protocols. You can see there, first against 8th, 17-10, 1-2. The Wigan Warriors, that's in normal time. Tell you what, that's not a bad bet, that 1-2. If money didn't matter to you, you had a bit of wedge. That's not a bad bet, to be fair.
It's all right, isn't it?
It's two Lola Haya playing a watch. Bevan French. I think French needs a game. I think he's been decent. He's not been box office for a couple of weeks, and maybe this is a time for Bevan to hit his straps. Like I say, some really good wins in there. Catalan, of course, in the cups. Very close against Saints. Beating the Rhinos always goes down well if you're a Giants fan. But if you look at who they beat, Broncos, Hull FC, even the Rhinos, the way they've been playing, this is another big game. They were close against Saints. We're going to find out a little bit more about Huddersfield in this one. As for Wigan, again, a bit topsy-turvy. Lost against Saints, lost against the Robins, beat Leopards, Tigers and Dragons. It's hard not to see Wigan winning this, isn't it, Steph?
Yeah. I think the one with me, this one, is that Huddersfield's home form's not been the best, has it?
August last year, mate, the last win.
Say again?
August of last year was the last one at home.
Yeah, which is incredible, isn't it, really? And as good as Huddersfield have been this season, all those have come pretty much on the road, haven't they?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It's the pressure of playing in front of those couple of fans they've got at home. Yeah, get ready for Greg and Greg Roach now in the chat. There's steam coming off his keyboard now. Sorry, Greg, I'm only joking. It's 10. Carry on. Yeah.
I'm sure the Cowbell Army will be out in numbers for this one while the Warriors are in town. I'm expecting a 7,000 crowd for this one, plus 7,000 plus for this one. But I just think we're going to have too much for them. So sorry to my Cowbell Army fans there. But I've gone Wigan 9-17.
9-17, Wigan. It's still not a blowout in 9-17. 3 scores, Greg.
Yeah, Huddersfield. What a strange side. They should have beat Saints. They shouldn't have got as close as they did to Salford. If there's 7,000 in that stadium, the Huddersfield players will have earmuffs on. They won't be able to cope with the noise. Sorry, Greg. I've gone Wigan 9-17.
Yeah, I have to agree. If we're going to go in, if we're going all in for Mr. Roach, I have to say it'd be a bit off-putting because the cowbell won't be reverberating around the ground. There'll be no echo. There'll be that many in the stadium. That'll be a bit different as well. Oh, Greg, I tell you, he's not happy, is he? He's not happy. He's not gonna, hey, there you go. Even Joel's going in. Hey, this is what happens, Joel. If you don't come on, Joel. This is what happens. You know what I mean?
Actually, Freddie's making a real good point there. It's the third home game in 10 games.
Third home game in 10 games.
That's a good point. That
it is a good point. Just imagine if they'd have all been at home. Where would you have been then, Freddie? Anyway, let's move on. We're only joking. We love our Cowbell Army fans. We do. But they're not going to like me. I'm going to Wigan 18 plus.
Just remember, it's all harmless.
It's all harmless banter. And actually, I don't know what Joel's going all upset about. He's gone Wigan 18 plus as well. So Joel's upset with what I'm saying. He's gone Wigan 18 plus. Fans Forum, they've gone Wigan 9-17. All the love going the way of the Wigan Warriors. Fantastic. Right, now then, let's get into this one. Catalan Dragons taking on the Leeds Rhinos. right, this is an interesting game, and I'm going to tell you for why in an Uncle Bryn kind of way. Right, here we go. So Catalan Dragons, 5th taking on 7th. Current game odds 4-11 on the Dragons, 23-10 the Rhinos. I think it's a big game for Sinfield. I think he will play again. There's no doubt about it. Jordan Abdul, I thought his kicking game at the Warriors in the first half was why he went in ahead. Second half, he faded. I have to say, we've said this a couple of times, doesn't look 100% fit, Jordan Abdul, to me. He needs to, that's just my interpretation of him this season. The Catalan Dragons, lost the last 2, Leopards and the Warriors, and badly. And when you factor in Huddersfield's demolition of him in Perpignan, they've had, I think it's 96 points in those 3 games. So their defence at the moment is not standing up to the test. Look at the Leeds Rhinos, again, very similar to what we were saying about another team a moment ago. They beat the Tigers, they beat Hull FC, and they beat the Broncos. Now, I'm sorry, Leeds Rhinos fans, but if you have any credibility, you're the mighty Leeds Rhinos. You should be winning them games as well. They've lost against Wolves. They've lost against the Giants. They now come up against Catalan. This is a massive game for the Leeds Rhinos. It's a huge game because, for me, they've been all over the place this season. They're not playing great rugby. Yes, they've had injuries, but so have other teams. Look at Lee. There's a perfect example of that. Look at Hull FC's had a lot of injuries. Injuries happen in a season. This is a big game. This is a big, big game for the Leeds Rhinos. The good news is Ben Garcia is not going to be there. That's a massive bonus if you're a Leeds fan. Seguire's probably out. Desiree, they haven't said, but Mickey McAlorum is back after his suspension. It's unlikely. There's concerns, but will Croft play? Lum, I can't see playing because he went off with a strain. There's no way he's turning that around in the amount of days he's got. So he's gone. Momorowski's not there. It was announced today that Bentley won't play for the foreseeable. I think July was mentioned, I saw in a report today for James Bentley, which is great for James Bentley and his health and well-being, but bad if you're a Leeds Rhinos fan. Gannon, of course, still nowhere. Foster still nowhere. Tom Holroyd, not expected to feature again, as is James Donaldson. But the good news is Harry Newman. They're expecting Newman back, so that's a bonus. So no Garcia, Newman back to the other side. Like I say, Steph, will start with you on this one. Leeds. This is massive for Leeds for me. They need to perform in this game.
Yeah, it is a huge game. I think it'll probably not define Leeds this season, but it's going to have a big impact on it, I think, from a confidence perspective. Because, like you said, the teams that they have beaten have been pretty average teams, haven't they, recently? Whereas, well, you could class Lee as an average team that beat Catalan, but Catalan at home are different gravy, unless you're the Cobels. Once back for the Cobels there, who battered them in Perpignan. At home, they're a different side. And I think after the last 2 results, Steve McNamara is going to want a big performance here against the Rhinos. I don't think Croft will play, but I might be wrong there. And I think Lum missing, as good as he was on debut, is a big factor for them. But getting Newman back is another big thing. So there's quite a lot of thingy there. But I've gone for Catalan to put a bit of a score on him here. I've gone 18 plus. Sorry, Alex. I know Alex is going over there. I hope it is a better performance than that, but that's what I think it will be.
It's all right. They do good staking.
Good news is I'm pretty bottom of the prediction league, so I'll be wrong on that one as well. So
he'll have a lovely weekend, mate. All that wonderful beef and vino and
mustache kebab.
Beautiful stuff. Greg, over to you. Catalan?
Yeah, as Steph says, it's hard to. This could be a defining game for any other team, but Leeds have a habit of having a poor start. Everybody thinks they're out of the running, and then they put results together at the end of the season, qualify the top 6, and next thing they're in the grand final. So, and I know what Steph's getting at there, but this season, I think this could be a little bit more important. I think it's a must-win for Leeds, if I'm being honest. But I'm going Catalan 9-17 because I think Catalan will be smarting. I think they tend to perform, apart from the Huddersfield game, in front of their own fans. So yeah, I've gone Dragons 9-17.
Radio Alex Sharp there saying that, of course, they beat him earlier in the season and he thinks they'll do better than the 61-0 that they had last year. Andy Bibido thinks it's a 20-pointer. Robert Igson, 9-17, the Dragons. He's going. Dawn, 9-17. Dawn Baker, that's where she's going tonight. Nicola Burtonwood, another member, 9-17. Michael Bell, welcome back, Michael. Consider becoming a member, sir. Catalan by 18 plus. Lee Partington is a member. He's gone Leeds 1-8. So that's an interesting one, 1-8. Greg Roach asking if Croft is fit. We'll find out when the teams come out tomorrow, Greg, on that. Let's quickly run down it then. There's a surprise. Gary Schofield has gone Catalan 18 plus. Something tells me that Gary Schofield wants Rowan Smith out. He's not a fan. I've gone Catalan 9-17. Joel has gone the same, as has the fans forum, 9-17. No one going the Leeds Rhinos in terms of the official prediction. We then finish round number 11 with the game in London. Again, should be an interesting one. We'll just get rid of Dawn's comment there. Not because we don't like Dawn's comment. It's just because we need to look at the screen. London Broncos, of course, yet to get a win. But here we go. Last 5. They both lost the last 5. So if London are going to get one, this is the game for me. And if they don't win this one, I do fear for them over the course of the season. The law of averages says they must win at least one. But if they don't win this, when is it going to come? Question mark. Player to watch. The man that just made my weekend, Mr. Alex Walker. What a pass from Alex Walker. Oh, I'm still basking in the glory of it now. Beautiful, Alex, lad. Oh, hit me again with one of them, son. Hit me again with one of them. Phenomenal stuff. 16-5, the London Broncos. 1-4 on. And, of course, Jake Truman. That was the big bonus for Warrington. Jake Truman back for the second half. Set the try up as well. He is quality. Let's hope his injury concerns are behind him. He's massive for Hull FC. And the fact that he'll probably play the full 80, that is going to be very interesting indeed. Right. Okay, chaps. What are our thoughts on this one?
I'll go first.
Go for it.
I think this is the Broncos' first win of the season. I think they'll win 9-17 as well. I don't think they'll just squeak through. Nothing against Hull. I just think that there's been a lot of upheaval around the club. Around Hull, there's been more upheaval this week. They can't have had any kind of settling influences with all the ins and outs and the rumours and everything flying around. I'm going London because, they did in flashes put some good stuff together against Rhinos. I just think this is the week where Broncos break the duck.
Fantastic. My apologies, but I've had to ban Yamin Alta from Super League Raw. So for those people who love a good kiboshing, Yamin Alta has left the building. Oh, yes, we're not having any of that. Get out of my page.
I was just about to deliver me free phone.
No, I was applying for the job.
He's gone. He's gone. So for those of you who love an eviction, you don't need Big Brother. Just watch Super League Raw on a Tuesday. Yamin is out of there. Yakety yak. Don't talk back. Right. Over to Steph. Your thoughts on London Broncos, my friend?
Yeah, it's. I think this could be a really good game, actually. I'm in Reggie's camp. I think London might do it this week. It's a trekking it down to London for the Hull FC boys, and if they're not on it, then then London will come out and put a performance on, I think. So I'm not going as crazy as Reggie. I'm going London 1-8. So we'll see. But I'm backing my mate Mike Eccles on this one.
Well, gentlemen, a lot of love for London. The fans forum have gone London 1-8. Joel's gone London 1-8. Schofield's gone Hull FC 18 plus. I don't see that, but I've gone Hull FC 9-17. Everything points to a London loss, but nobody will be happier than me because of Mike Eccles. I think the guy's quality. Like the fella, really, never met him. Would love to meet him. Love to do an in-convo with him. I think he comes across brilliantly well. He deserves a win. I think his conduct, very similar to Mark Applegarth last year at Wakefield. I mean, his conduct has been superb. So, nothing will give me greater pleasure than to see London win this. But I do think Truman back is big. The fact they've got Chan as well this week, he's a good player. He's a lot better than a lot of what they've got.
Truman's ball to Briscoe for the try against Warrington was really good. You know, he was great. You know, I think my prediction is more. I just want them to win a game.
I think we all do.
We're all backing them to win a game, but I do think it is the best chance at the moment.
Well, one of my favourite in the sheds last year was when Wakey beat Leeds and broke the duck. That was a moment of pure beauty, and I really enjoyed
Alex liked that one. You loved that one, Alex.
Yeah, loved it. Yeah, Alex did. Yeah. I think I can recall saying they were marching home together in tears. I think is what I think in that one. But it was a great in the sheds, and like I say, I'd love to do it in the sheds over the course of this weekend where London have come out winning. It will be absolutely marvellous if that was the case. So there you go. That's how we see it. That's how we're predicting it. Don't know. We might be right. We might be wrong. I don't know. But that's the way we see it. Right. Before we go, don't go anywhere. Let's go through what's happening on Super League Raw. First and foremost, we do need your support. For less than a latte, join the membership. It's in the comments. It's in the description. As is how you can join us next week for the Super League Raw quiz night of May. It's an online interactive quiz. It's multiple choice. You will play on your laptop, but you will also play on your phone. You need 2 devices. Basically, you will select your answer on your phone, lock it in. There's leaderboards. There's all sorts of good stuff. You'll really enjoy yourself. And like I say, by becoming a member, you're automatically involved in the quiz anyway. So go over to the Patreon website, take a look at the memberships. We do need your support. Loads of great content coming your way, loads of prizes coming your way, but we do need your support. And for less than a latte a month, 1 latte a month, that's all we're asking. Help us, support us, allow us to give it back to you. It'd be marvellous. And come and join us for that quiz night. Get over to Eventbrite, book your tickets. If you're a non-member, £3.40. If you are a member, you're automatically enrolled. Tomorrow, Jenna Brooks in conversation, available for your viewing pleasure. Liam Marshall's on the way as well. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Please, please, please support us. Love doing it for you. But I need your support. I really do. Great show, chaps. Really, really good show. Looking forward to this weekend. It should be good.
Yeah, some good games.
Yeah,
and you know the ones like that Lee Castleford game last weekend, we didn't really think, no disrespect to either side, that was going to be the classic game that it was. And let's hope there's more of that this week.
Yeah. You're the same, Steph. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's. I think the good thing as well is that most of the games we'll be able to watch. I think there's only one clash, isn't there, which is Friday.
Yeah.
Lee and Salford and
there's a couple of clashes on Friday. I think apart from that, we're good. Yeah, one. Yeah.
There's only one other.
Yeah.
I think there's two on Friday, one Saturday, one Sunday. So fantastic week of rugby league for everybody.
That's a good point, that, Alex. We're going to have to be quick. Callum Calver, you missed it. Marshall in conversation. That's going to be coming in a couple of weeks' time and recording that this week. Right, we did say, has anybody got a question? Question of the week. Should have said that when we were doing the London game. My apologies. So quick, question of the week. Put a question in the chat now and we will answer it. Anything you want to know.
There was one earlier on in the chat about who did we think was who's the breakout player.
We'll go with that one.
Can't remember who that was.
I can't. Great shout. We'll do that one.
Breakout player.
We need to remember that for next week. Who has been the best breakout player in 2024? Greg.
Thanks. That's a tough one. It's as tough as the one we were asked last week. Breakout player. Being completely biased, I'd have to say Leon Hayes, maybe. Being completely biased.
Yeah, it has been a breakout this year. Dawn Baker's got Ensemble. I'd have put him out. I was raving about Ensemble last year, Dawn, if you remember. I'd have put him into year's bracket. He's don't get me wrong, he's getting better and better. But I was raving over Ensemble last year. What about yourself, Steph?
I'm going to go a bit left field and I'm going to pick Broadbent. As a breaker, someone who's not really, or even Charles actually at Hull FC.
Yeah, he's got potential, hasn't he?
It's easy to go for the bigger team ones, isn't it? But I think if players who've got potential, it's a breakout player, someone we didn't know about. Yeah. Then I think even Wood at Castleford as well, I think it's been outstanding.
Yeah.
Possibly Zakeem. Possibly El Zakeem as well.
Oh, that's a shout. That's a shout.
He's had a good season, Zakeem.
Yeah, we're going to be going out in a minute with the top performers from up to round 10. And yeah, I mean, like I said, El Zakeem, really, really good pickup.
Hanley, someone said.
Yeah, let's go to Hanley. Tanginoa, there's a lot of people saying Tanginoa. Tanginoa's been a quality player for years.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just, unfortunately, he's just had 2 injuries. But I mean, for me, it was no surprise last year that when Tanginoa come back, Wakey started to improve significantly. He's that big of an impact player.
Yeah.
I think your point on Hayes is well made. I think Hanley at Lee, very, very good. But I'll tell you now, just to throw my own in here, in a beaten side, I think Ollie Leyland at London, from an attacking perspective, not necessarily defence, he's got to work on his defence, but from an attacking perspective, I think Ollie Leyland this season, he's not doing himself any harm at all. And if Alex Walker carries on delivering poetry on a rugby field like he did last week, I'll tell you, if I could have his babies, outstanding stuff.
Ollie Partington at Salford.
Ollie Partington, well, he's been around a few years, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he's gone to Salford. He went from Wigan to Salford, and he's actually started playing really well now, hasn't he?
He'll be Catalan next year, rumour has it.
Yates, Huddersfield.
No, Yates has been class for years.
Mm.
Years, man.
Going back to December, he'll rip it up in the NRL next season.
Oh yeah, Junior. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll be buying his NRL shirt.
Yeah, when he's in the Broncos.
Surfing on Bondi Beach with Tom Amone and Tyler Dupree.
Don't just switched off. Outstanding stuff. Right, okay, look.
Stuart did have one more point about longest drop goal he'd ever seen.
Ooh, what was the one in the NRL? There was one in the NRL. Was it Ben Reynolds?
Yeah, for the 2-pointer.
Oh, that was glorious. Yeah.
Joe Lydon.
I think that's what Stuart said, Joe Lydon. I was right behind that.
Yeah.
At Main Road, he missed by 10 yards. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Yeah. Craig's left the WhatsApp group, Alex Sharp said.
Yes.
Lord Baker saying, shut up. Happy days. Right. So, for those of you, there's loads of you still watching. Thank you very much indeed. What we're going to do, we're going to go out with 3 things here. 1, the quiz night. Look, you need to be a part of this on Monday. Next Monday, 8 o'clock. Do come and join us. It'll be a great laugh. Not wrote it yet. That's another thing that I've got to do this week. It's going to be a great quiz night. There are going to be prizes. They will be announced on the day. Like I say, Don Kirby loved the rugby ball. It's going to be absolutely quality. Don't you worry about that. So we're going to go out with a little promo for the quiz. We'll do the top performers. We will be back next Tuesday, as always, 8 p.m. for more Super League Raw Weekly. Catch the Final Whistle podcast, round 11. And can I just put a final shout out to 2 people, Ryan Birch and Carrie. They were Super League Raw members right from the beginning, but because they're loving what we're doing, they both upgraded this week off their own accord, weren't asked to do so, but they upgraded because they're loving what we're doing. So a big thank you to both Carrie and to Ryan for doing that. You didn't have to do that. You've done it because you wanted to do that. And, from the bottom of my heart, guys, it means the world. So thank you very much
guys,
for doing that. It's really good. So, guys, we'll see you next week for more Super League Raw Weekly. Chaps, as always, thank you for your company. Can't beat a bit of weekly. Bye for now.
Ta-da.
Welcome, one and all, to the first Super League Raw quiz. %9 Roby. And the good news for those who didn't get the fastest finger first is that everybody is wrong. It's Alan Tate. That's winning by 4 now. This is not just unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Which means that Dawn, the girl that has been talking all night, saying that she's got everything wrong, the one that's been giving us a bit of karaoke all evening, 6 minutes and 14 seconds. Dawn, congratulations, you are getting an official Hull KR rugby ball. Go and get it signed.
Are the top performers after 10 rounds of the Betfred Super League. Out on his own as the top try scorer is the magnificent Adam Swift of the Huddersfield Giants with 11. Brodie Croft has made the most tries for his teammates with 12 for the Leeds Rhinos. The most meters continue to be made by Matt Duffy of the Warrington Wolves with 1,845. The most devastating tackle buster is Tim Lafai with 84. The clean breaks are shared between Innes Senior, Matt Duffy and Adam Swift. All of them have 12. The most offloads have come from Nene McDonald of the Salford Red Devils with 22. Whilst the most hard meters made by a prop forward second rollers forward is still Paul Vaughan of the Warrington Wolves with 1,125. The most tackles have been made by Cameron Smith with 390 for the Leeds Rhinos. And finally, still leading the goal-kicking charts is Mark Sneed of the Salford Red Devils with 36. These are your top performers after 10 rounds.